Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is Friday Night Live with myself, Paul Thorpe. We've got Richard Inman and we've got Sarah White from the Pink Ladies. Good evening, gang. How are you both?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Lovely to see everyone piling in nice and early. Let's have a little look. We've already got around about 250 people watching, and we haven't even kicked a ball yet. So that's a good start for a Friday night. Guys, we've got a fun show ahead. We've got loads and loads and loads to talk about. But before we start this evening's show, I just want to pay a little tribute to Peter Whittle, who sadly passed away on Wednesday. A year or so ago, I had the pleasure and the honour of meeting Peter in person at the New Culture Forum studios, where we spent about an hour together chewing over the fat. We did a video for his channel, and I was left in awe of his enthusiasm and, more importantly, I think, his ability to communicate so eloquently. Peter was born in 1961, the same year as myself, and he was a true patriot, and he's a massive loss to this movement. Earlier on in the summer, I posted a video. Peter gave me kind permission to use one of his videos. It was called England Expects. I've left a link to that video in the video description, and I said at the time that it was the best video that I'd ever seen, and I stick to that word today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Peter and his family. God bless, and may he rest in peace. That's Peter Whittle, 1961 to 2025. God bless, mate. You're a gentleman. Very sad, Richard. Very sad.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Peter since 2017, and an absolute gentleman. And you know, the thing, not just a gentleman, he was a real deep thinker. He was a strategist. He knew the direction we had to go. And remember, he signed the pledge in whenever we did the signing of the pledge last year, 2024. A really great guy, and he is a great loss. I mean, we've lost Peter Whittle. In the last 2 months, we lost Peter Whittle and we lost Sam Solomon, two massive intellects, massive thought leaders in the movement, and they are so important. And you know, I think, you know, it's a credit to Peter that when I heard the news, obviously it's sad for him and his partner, but I think the worst thing about it is the loss to the intellectual capital of the movement, because he was a very, very bright guy and very well connected as well. So it's a great loss.
And just generally nice man as well.
Oh, he's a very nice man. He was a true gentleman, and it's very sad.
You only have to look at all of the comments. Everyone's written such lovely things about him, so that just speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Oh, really? Totally. So, and again, because if you don't like someone, you just don't write anything, do you? Unless you're real wrong, and then you go and slag them off. But you wouldn't know when you'd have to be pretty callous to do that, you know. Yeah. But no, Pete was a great guy, and you know, what you've got to do is value people like Peter Will, and realize their ability, and he never got the credit for what he'd done. The New Culture Forum is such a great idea because, you know, everybody's talking about culture now. Peter Whittle was talking about culture in 2005. I think that's when he set it up. I think he set it up in 2005. So he's talking about culture 20 years before anyone else was talking about culture. You know, so great guy.
Yeah, he was indeed. Sarah, I guess you never had the chance to meet Peter yourself.
No, I didn't, unfortunately. I've always especially more recently, heard great things about him, seen some of his stuff. But yeah, it's a real shame, because then when someone like that does pass away, you think that's someone who I would have really loved to have met, and unfortunately now I haven't got the opportunity.
Yeah. No, well, I'm proud to say that I did get to meet him, thankfully, and you know, he was a very receptive gentleman, and very, very, very sad to hear. Danny in Spain is in the chat. Good evening, Danny.
I love you, Danny.
Danny, I want to ask, when is the Paul Thorpe, Danny Salmon boxing match happening? I want to know when that's happening. I want to see that.
Oh, hold on a minute. Richard. Let me tell you something. The mood that Danny's been in just recently, that is not taking place.
Oh, come on, Paul. Don't be using that as an excuse. You were up for it last year. You were up for it. You were game. You bought yourself some boxing boots and everything.
My odds are on Danny.
Oh, well, I'd say
I'd say more than my odds would be on Danny. I'd say you get no bookie in the country would give you odds on Paul Thorpe. Put it that way, mate. You know?
Well, they give me odds. They'll give you odds on me. They won't give you any odds on Danny.
And exactly. That's what I mean. You know, unless you turn up with a Beretta or something, Paul, you might have that might square the chances, but that's about the height of it. You know?
He's not allowed his Beretta. I can bring mine.
Yeah, no, I'm barred. Let me give you a little football analogy. When me and Danny jump in the ring together, you're talking Macclesfield Town versus Man City.
and you're the Mac lad.
And I forgot my boots as well. But no, listen, Danny, God bless you, mate. I've spent a lot of time with Danny over the last 2 weeks now. He's still not in a good place whatsoever. But, you know, we're doing whatever we can. Been with him all day, you know, well, most of the days in the last couple of weeks, really. So we're on the phone all the time. So he's getting there. But
you know what? It was so lovely to meet both of you in Poland. He really is he's got such a kind soul.
Yeah,
he has. Do you know what? I mean, that's absolutely right. I mean, I went through a trial, well, I suppose beginning of the year, wasn't it? And Danny was there. He was, you know, he wasn't in my face, but I knew that if I'd sent him a text message, he'd be back, you know, chatting to me straight away, you know. So, yeah, he's one of a kind, is Danny. Again, a unique person, you know, in the movement. And mate, listen, if you're still watching, Danny, there's a lot of people praying for you, brother, and there's a lot of people care about you and love you. And don't forget, don't for 1 minute ever forget that.
Absolutely.
And mate, you are the man that introduced me to pie and mash and eels and all that other weird stuff that was poured all over my food. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Proper British grub. None of this halal nonsense. You don't get any halal eels. It was great. So Danny, when you get back to UK, I will get on a plane. I will come over to London, and I want to go out and have pie and mash and eels. And what else do we have?
I'm coming for that too.
What's the other thing that we have? Come on, Sarah, you're in London. What's the other thing that you put over the top of it? What's it called? Liquor. Now, liquor means something different in Northern Ireland.
Pie mash and liquor.
Pie mash and liquor, yeah.
This might cheer Danny up a little bit. I'll be honest, he's already seen it, but Sarah sent me this earlier on. This is brilliant. I love this. Look at this.
So good.
I like it. Yeah.
Brilliant. It's got names of a few people on it, including you, Richard, including Sarah, including myself and Danny.
Awesome.
Very, very humbling. So that is absolutely fantastic. And yeah.
You know what? A guy got in touch with me on Instagram called Dan Wheaton, and he just said, I'd love to do you a bit of art. And he showed me all the process of going through, doing this small piece to then making it like this one. And he done it all by pen. And he doesn't normally do coloured art. And I was like, I'd really like, I think that would look great if it was coloured. And he bought all the pens and coloured it. And he went, I'll send you the digital. I was like, can I have the original? He was like, oh, do you want it? I was like, yeah, of course. So yeah, he sent me that, and he's been epic. He's been really nice.
Absolutely amazing, and it just goes to show you, the effort that people put in. Like I said, guys, look, we have got a load of stuff to get through. We've got some videos. I think it's going to be a fairly long show tonight. It's definitely going to be an entertaining one, because I think Richard's promised to sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" later on. By the way, do you like do you like the Christmas tree?
No, it's shocking. That's not a Christmas tree. That's never been a Christmas tree.
I'm going to spin you around to my Christmas tree.
Oh, very nice.
Sarah, yours is upside down.
It is upside down. You're right. Very observant of you, Richard.
It's an upside down tree.
Richard's going to be the fairy on the top.
He could fit on the top because it's so big. Sorry, Richard.
Oh, come on. Well, Paul's is too small and yours upside down. Do you know what? Next week I'm going to have a Christmas tree. You just wait and see.
Right. So before we get into all the topics that we're going to go through tonight, we've got 1,100 people watching now, over 1,100 people. Thank you very much for watching on a Friday evening. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Richard, did you see my announcement last night?
No.
We're not going live on Christmas morning.
Oh, that's all right. Good.
Oh, no.
Good.
We are going live on Christmas Eve.
Into Christmas morning.
At 9 p.m. and we are going to be live for 24 hours. Right through Christmas Eve, we are going to bring our viewers into our homes on Christmas Eve, starting at 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And what I'm going to do is, because you know what, for me, when I was a kid, Christmas Eve was the most special night of the year. It was a wonderful, magical night. And I used to wake up, I used to stay awake as long as I could to see if Father Christmas was going to come down the chimney, right? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to leave my cam on all night when I go to bed on Christmas Eve, hoping to catch Santa Claus leaving me a present.
Empty your sack.
Kind of. which is
Ho, ho, ho.
This is unbelievable.
It's all in the timing, Paul. It's all in the timing. You've got to time it right to see Santa on Christmas Eve, mate.
I'm going to be leaving my cam open up. So what you're going to see is, as I go to bed, I'll put the lights out and you are going to see, right? And then at some stage in the night, you may see Father Christmas, but we've got a load of surprises lined up. And I'm looking for suggestions tonight, guys, that we're going to be showing some shows, some old Christmas specials. We're going to be having guests hop in and out all day and all night. We're going to have a quiz. We're going to have a competition. We're going to do all sorts. So I'm looking for ideas and suggestions in the comments tonight as to what we can do on Christmas Eve, going into Christmas Day, and then all blooming day on Christmas Day, including, I want my dinner served up. We're going to have dinner, I think. Oh, someone left a good idea last night. A speech at 3 p.m. to rival the king.
Well, that wouldn't be difficult, would it? I mean, if it was a queen, you'd have some job, but Bonnie Prince Charlie. I mean, you know, it's not going to be too difficult, is it?
He's known as Wally Prince Charlie now.
Yeah, he's not.
No, Waleed Prince Charlie.
Waleed Prince Charlie. Lydia, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. 40 pence, £20. Thank you. Hi, Sarah. Thank you, Hum, for responding to my request and considering coming here to Belfast. I hope you can come to some arrangement with our Pink Ladies. I would love to meet up with you before or after the event. Wow, thank you so much. And thank you to Tony as well. Right, shall we get into some action? Let's have a little look in the comments and see what's going on there. Lots of support for Danny. Reverend Steve Amore, real shame about Peter Will. He was hoping to get experimental treatment. Yeah, I did actually see that. Yeah.
That's sad, isn't it? When someone gets some
indeed
other treatment.
Let's get into the first video. I tell you what.
So, Paul, just before you do that, Paul, there's a comment there from Johnny Four Nations, right?
Yeah.
And he said, I heard Rupert Lowe is joining Advance. Do we know anything about that?
No, not that I've not spoke to Ben all week. Have I spoke to Ben this week? Only on text, I think. So not that I know of.
Nothing to me.
I believe Sarah's seen him a little bit more recently, haven't you, Sarah?
Yeah, I met up with him. We had coffee this afternoon. So yeah, no, he didn't mention anything. Yeah.
Well, I think it'll be about bloody time, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I do too. Be great. It would be absolutely fantastic. I don't understand why they're not together. It doesn't seem to make any sense.
No, it doesn't at all. Let's have a little look. Shall we start off with "Let's All Laugh at a Lefty"? Should we start with that?
Yeah, let's laugh at that.
Let's all laugh at a lefty. Have a listen to this one. This is funny, but you've got to look at the facial jewelry, and you've got to keep a close eye on the facial expressions. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Be a seed of apology from the white community for what we are seeing, because my colleague today said to me, I'm ashamed of being white, and I feel that too. What is happening is awful.
Should we watch it again? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let's play it again.
Hopefully, be a seed of apology from the white community for what we are seeing, because my colleague today said to me, I'm ashamed of being white, and I feel that too. What is happening is awful.
She's ashamed of being white, Richard. Oh, we need to buy some pearls so she can clutch them.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's all laugh at her lefty. I mean, what the hell was all that about?
What was the context of that, Paul? What was she ashamed of?
Richard, you know what? I don't know, right? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what it could possibly be, Richard. But at the end of the day, what is wrong with these people? And why do they keep bringing colour into it all?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, you know, I think that they're causing a lot of unnecessary problems, and it gives oxygen to the fuel of people who are ethno-Nazis. You know, the Steve Laws, the patriotic alternative, all those.
I'd like to know if she's ashamed of being white. I'd like to know, looking at her, I want to know how many black friends she's got.
Yeah.
What happened, Paul?
I threw something at him. I was throwing something at him.
Because what I find with all of these lefties is they never have friends from a diverse background, which I find really bizarre. But like, I was out with my friend the other night. He's Sikh. Like we went out, we had dinner, and he goes, "Oh, here she is. Here comes the racist." But he always says to me, and it's funny, all the people that call you a racist haven't got any black or brown.
Yeah. Yes, it's always the same. They have no bloody idea. I mean, if I was her, I'd be more ashamed of that soppy thing she's got in above her eye with him. I mean,
I think she had an accident with a stapler.
Go and get her.
I'll pull it out.
Facelift. Yeah, go and get a facelift. Excuse me. Let's have a little look at this one. This is from. Let me get this up a minute. Where's me images? Here we go. This was from Basil the Great. He's great, Basil. He does get some good stuff. Nigel Farage cannot stop calling Tommy Robinson far right. This is so pathetic. Also, Elon Musk didn't offer him a donation. But I assure you, if he had, Farage would have snapped his hand off. Basil the Great is absolutely spot on. Let's watch this. This is quite funny, actually.
And Nick Candy, would you welcome a donation from Musk? And here's what they have to say. Will Musk donate? Do you want him to donate?
I don't know. I'm, you know, the fact that already today he's, I'm going to say retweeted because re-X doesn't really work, but he's retweeted already a post about Nick becoming the party treasurer, and he said interesting. And I know Nick's got connections with him as well. Look, the fact that he's supportive of us, we're delighted with. If he wants to give us money and it's legal money, we'd be thrilled.
There will be a chance to speak with Elon, and if he wants to donate, of course, we'd love him to donate. If it can be done properly and legally and through the right mechanisms, then absolutely fine.
Right, so that's before. This is before Elon Musk came out in support of Tommy and the United Kingdom.
More importantly, Paul, Advance UK.
And Advance UK.
Yeah, it's more important than anything else.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden it changes to this.
I would say this to you, though. You know, in a long career in public life that lasts over 30 years, I've done more in this country to defeat the BNP, to defeat the far right. I didn't even take the money from Elon Musk earlier this year because he wanted me to associate with Tommy Robinson. I have been the force in British politics fighting against racism and against extremism. And it's only you know, when you get near the target, perhaps winning a general election, that all this stuff comes out.
He talks so much shit.
Doesn't
Sorry.
he just? Doesn't he
He
just?
does. He
I mean, he's
thinks
got some front as well, to be fair. You got.
No, I don't
mean,
think he has. I don't think he's any front at all, because if you saw the fear in his eyes when he did
Yes.
Newsnight
Yeah.
and when he did that BBC interview, he's petrified. I'll tell you what, listen, if somebody recorded what I said last week, they'd be flipping running for the hills and calling me all sorts. I know I'm not racist, but, you know, we all say stupid stuff all the time, right? Let's just be honest. And the truth of the matter is, with Farage, he's panicking over what he said 50 years ago. If I'd have been recorded for the past 50 years, I'd probably be in Wormwood Scrubs now. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's just pathetic.
Quick question for you both. Quick question for you both on that one. First of all, sorry, Artie says big shout out to Ryan Bridge and Danny Tomo and others today in France. A bit of a scary moment. Yeah, I did see that. I hope the lads are very careful out there. Just a quick word on the Farage thing on Newsnight this week. I'll go to you first, Sarah. Sarah, do you believe him? Do you believe he said those things? And if he did, does it matter? What does it mean?
I find him I just find him a liar. Sorry, my shoulders look like they're coming out my top. I just don't like Farage. I just don't think that he's one bit sincere, and I have a problem with him because I just
Full stop. Yeah.
A problem with him, full stop. I mean, to lie about that Elon Musk has said that he's going to donate to him, that's a barefaced lie. And I know that because I've seen the texts as well to prove that he didn't, that Elon, direct from Elon, saying that he didn't say that he would do it. So I just think the man's a compulsive liar, and he'll do whatever he can to get him out of something. He thinks he's such a chap because he stands with a pint in a pub and thinks that people are that stupid to believe that he's one of the lads. So yeah, I'm not a fan.
Richard, what do you make of that news?
Well, look, I mean, the whole thing's embarrassing. Farage, if Farage said, look, if you said that, something as specific as what he's been accused of by that Jewish guy, right? That's very, very specific, right? If he said that when he was 14 or whatever, and he knows he said it, now I don't know. This is the problem. We don't know whether he's telling the truth because we know that Farage lies. But if he did say it and he doesn't believe it anymore, and he didn't believe it at the time, he was just saying it for banter or whatever, he should say to the guy, if I said that, I'm very sorry. It was 50 years ago. I don't hold those views. But if I did say it as a child, then we all say stupid things. But I do apologize if it's caused you any offense. That's the matter closed. I tell you what, I think this one's going to run and run because the BBC and all the lefties are not going to let it go. Now, I don't think it matters what you said when you were a 14-year-old boy, because you are a boy when you're 14. Your brain's not fully developed. I'm sure I've said horrendous things, right? I mean, I went from being a flipping punk rocker to a skinhead with a Union Jack T-shirt in about 6 weeks when I was 14. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you believe or anything. So if he said stupid stuff, then he should be forgiven, right? And that's it. But there is a serious point with this. If he's lying, then it just shows that he can't be trusted, which we know anyway. And there was a comment in the chat, and again, I understand why people say this. They're saying, well, let's vote for Farage and get him across the line. No, because there is an alternative now. There's Advanced UK. It's going to be fully operational by the time of the next general election. We're not messing about with local elections. We're not messing about with the local assembly elections. We're getting totally ready for the next general election. And the only way we're going to save the country is not with that snake Farage, weak sauce Farage. It's with someone who has got integrity, who is very straight, is a man of the people, despite Ben's posh accent. He is a man of the people. He's a genuine man of the people.
He's sincere.
He's sincere. All three of us here. Now, I'm a nobody. I'm not saying anybody else in here is nobody. Thank you. I'm just waiting for someone to back me up. Paul's a bit of a somebody, right? Just a great line in watches. But no, we're not big people, right? We're not big players, right? And if I got on my phone tonight and said, Ben, I really need to talk to you about something that's relevant to Advance, he would take that call. Yeah. I never do it. I never do it because I've got loads of people's phone numbers on my phone. I just never phone them because I only phone someone I've got business with them. But that's the sort of man that Ben is. He gives normal people like us three his time. And to me, that speaks volumes. I wouldn't speak to Nigel even if I had his number, but he wouldn't take a call from the likes of me because we're that lot. And this is what working class Brits have got to understand. You cannot trust Nigel Farage with your vote. You really can't.
Prime example. I got arrested whilst being a candidate for reform. Now, they should have been all over that. They should have been all over that. They could have really grabbed me and gone, we'll protect you. They done pay. They never got in touch. I heard through the grapevine they were trying to dump me because I then put up posts about Tommy Robinson. They'd even said, take your post down or you're dropped from the party. I was a potential candidate. I was a candidate. I weren't an actual councillor. Then they didn't wrap a blanket around me and protect me. Then when I did meet Farage, which was prior to that, he just looked at me like I was a bit of shit. When I've met Ben, messaged Ben 2 days ago. Hi, Ben, just to let you know, I'm in town on Friday. If you fancy meeting up for a coffee, we can chat. Yeah, of course. Meet me 12 o'clock. We met up.
Yeah.
Nigel would never have done that. He couldn't support me when I got arrested for not doing anything wrong. When he said the other day that he will give the money for any of the farmers that was protesting peacefully, well, they was all protesting peacefully. Why have you added that on? Because there's a loophole that you're not going to fund them. That's why. So he's not sincere. He doesn't care about the working class. He just thinks he's a champagne socialist and that's it. Tries to, like I said earlier, stands with a pint and thinks we're that stupid to think he's one of us. He ain't. He doesn't. He looks down his nose at all of us.
100%.
I thought we looked. That was probably the most uncomfortable I've seen him in an interview I don't ever recall him looking more unconvincing or unsure of himself. What I would say is that the BBC are behind it. The guy behind it apparently is an actor. He's associated with The Guardian. I do wonder why they've taken all this time to come out of it. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm afraid he's not going to get any sympathy from me. He can have some of the medicine that he's given Tommy. So,
Paul, I think what will happen here, and this is why this is going to affect Farage's chances of getting elected. What's going to happen is he's going to double down on the denial. He's going to double down on, I fought the BNP and I fought against Tommy Robinson. And he's going to split the right even more. And that's why they've done this. Did he do it? I don't know whether he did it or not, but I know something. When that camera zoomed in on his face, his eyes were watering. He was shaken. His denial was extremely insincere. Yeah. He was kind of saying, well, I didn't mean any harm when I said stuff to people. Well, we can all say that. You can say something really nasty and say, I was only joking. It's pretty much what he said. Yeah. So, look, I'm not going to make an accusation against him because I don't know exactly what happened. The guy that has made the accusation, like you say, he's a lefty. He's got an axe to grind. We all know that. Doesn't mean it's not true, though. It doesn't mean it's not true. And you'd have to be, we know how psychopathic the left can be, but you'd have to be a special kind of psychopath to just make something like that up. So I think it's something a 14-year-old right-wing boy could say without a shadow of a doubt, out of ignorance, Yeah. And you've got to be given the grace to apologise for that. But it's very much like what the Mike Graham situation. I think if Mike Graham had said, now I don't know whether Mike Graham did those tweets or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it may be. I don't know if Mike Graham did that. He denied it, right? But let's say he did do it, hypothetically. And he went to the people at Talk TV and said, I did that. I've had a few drinks. I'm very sorry. I apologise to the ethnic minorities that I was insulting. I shouldn't have said it. So all Mike Graham needs to do, I think Mike Graham would have still had a job. I really do. Because if you've done something... here's the thing, Paul, right? If you've done something wrong, right, and you put your hands up to it, right, a lot of people will show you grace, and he would have got a lot of goodwill, right? And it would have been very difficult for them to get rid of him if he'd handled an apology properly, if he had said something racist. And I can't remember what it was that he was meant to have said.
No, I can't precisely. But do you see the left ever? I mean, look what happened. I mean, apparently the people in the Talk Sports studio, which is just across the hall, I think, from Talk Radio, they were straight on it like a flash, right? They were like a dog with a bone. I don't see any grace being given to him. That's my opinion. I think he would have lost his job either way, personally.
Yes, you know, I'm not denying that, but the thing is, if he did say it, and I don't know whether he said it, if he did say it, I mean, I just don't believe that you can get your Facebook hacked that easily when you've got your phone in your hand. I just find that very hard to believe.
Didn't he lose his phone? He was saying he'd lost his phone.
Well, and then he found it again. You know, I mean, look, if you do something wrong, put your hands up. And if you get sacked, you get sacked.
Yeah,
that's my thing. You know, like, you know, if I say loads of stupid stuff, if it means that I have to, you know, that's why I don't any. You know,
sometimes you have to man up and be a man and go, you know what, I said it. It was in the moment. And like the thing with Farage, if he did say it, which, like you said, potentially did, then he could go, I was 14, I was an idiot. What 14-year-olds run in Parliament? You know, I was an idiot, I was stupid.
I think that's a very important point. At the end of the day, there are things that we all did when we were younger, things that we said. I mean, I'll be honest, I was a horrible little git when I was 14. Horrible.
Yeah, I was.
Horrible.
Yeah.
You don't understand the ramifications of what you're saying. So, but it's how, you know, listen, we've all got our own opinions on Farage, but I think he should just be honest, but he's not honest, is he?
No.
I think everyone should just bloody forget Nigel Farage and back Ben. That's my view.
Sorry, look at how he dealt with the whole Tommy thing the other year when someone said about, is Tommy going to join the party? He could have embraced all of Tommy's supporters by saying, I think credit where credit's due. He's done amazing things and well done to him. However, as far as I'm concerned, he can't be part of a political party. Move on, next question. Yeah. Like, instead, he slated him because Nigel has to have the biggest ego. He wants to be the king of the party. Well, he ain't the king of the party because you're bringing people over from Conservative who are just so concerned about keeping their wage packet that they're going, okay, Nigel, we'll do whatever you want. Well, sorry, Nigel, you're actually a fool. So make room because Ben's stepping up.
I'd call him a fraud rather than a fool, to be honest, but that's my opinion. Lydia, thank you so much for that, by the way. Let me just read this. Nigel Farage. Have you seen this, the name and this guy?
Yeah.
Peter was working until the end. He would have been hard to hear that so many people spoke so highly of him, and also for being part of our movement that so many strangers I meet are aware of. Yeah, absolutely agree. And by the way, I think the name is absolutely funny, hilarious.
Well, I mean, that sums Nigel up, doesn't it? You know, Nigel, the man who says that we can't beat radical Islam and takes 25 grand a pop from Muslim businessmen is you know, his fundraisers. So that tells you everything that you need to know about reform and the direction of travel they're going in.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of their branches are just set up to be money-making machines. Every branch meeting is pump, earn as much money as you can. That's all it is. You've got to remember, I was a treasurer momentarily at a branch, and it was just, right, what can we do next to make more money? It's like raffle ticket. How many raffles do you want at a branch meeting?
I hope you skim plenty off the top there, Sarah.
Well, do you know what? Listen to this. Talking about raffles, I'm having a raffle at Christmas, right, for our Christmas stream, but my raffle tickets are free. I'm going to be giving away a raffle ticket.
I'll have everyone, please.
You can't have everyone, Sarah, but I'm going to be giving away a raffle ticket to every single person that joins our stream over the Christmas live stream. And when I say who appears on the screen, I'm going to leave the show open virtually for the whole show so people can hop on, say hello, have a chat. Everyone that comes on, you'll get a raffle ticket, and then at the end of the raffle,
when you're asleep and Santa's on, because that's when I want to pop on. I'm going to catch Santa.
Well, I'm still got to work that one out. Ian Nicholson, Santa does.
I'm not growing this beard for nothing.
He is growing it as well.
I'm telling you, the red suit will be out. I'm telling you.
You got
I just need to get
a good full beard there. You know, some men have patchy stuff going on. That's a good
No, this is
beard.
a proper man's beard, proper Santa beard. You wait till Christmas Day.
Oh, it's a cracker. Ian Nicholson, Santa doesn't appear, or Santa doesn't go to naughty boys, Paul. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the situation I'm in at the minute.
Lydia, thank you. Hi, Paul, Richard, and Sarah. Happy to come on to chat. Yeah, but you can definitely come on for the Christmas one, that's for sure. Sharon, thank you, Sharon. I've got eyebrow bar and nose ring. I'm no lefty. Sharon, don't take offence. I'm only kidding.
Yeah, but it's the way you wear it. Lefties don't wear it good, do they?
That woman had just stapled her eyebrow. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's it. That's all
staple.
that.
It was the whole.
Nigel L. Farage again. Are all of you aware that there are so many people who follow you? Ask anyone in coffee shop, supermarket staff over the age of 50. Yes, I think a lot of people do follow us. I will say one thing. When I'm out and about in Benidorm, it's actually quite funny. I get recognised more in Benidorm, I think, than I do back in the UK. But it is definitely what's the right word? A loyalist hotbed, I think is the right word.
Well, I mean, they have their own, it's probably the only city outside of the UK that has an orange parade on the 12th of July.
Exactly.
With a band and everything. You've got to go and film that. See, on the 12th of July, Paul, I want you to go and film that orange parade for me, right? You know where it is. You know where the pub is.
Yeah. Sydney says, I wouldn't be anywhere else but here on a Friday night. I love this show. Thank you very much, Sydney. We really appreciate it. I'll tell you what, let's have a little look at a lie, shall we? Let's have a little look at this. This is funny. Look, watch.
Absolutely clear, we will not raise tax for working people.
Labour will not be increasing taxes. I am very clear about that.
No tax rises.
We don't want to increase taxes.
No income tax, no national insurance, no VAT.
I will not raise taxes.
We're not going to increase tax. I don't believe it's fair to raise taxes on working people.
I would like taxes on working people to be lower. I want to cut taxes.
Labour will not be raising taxes.
There'll be no additional taxes on households under Labour.
There's a commitment not to increase taxes.
Because we've been very, very clear, we will not increase
plans to
raise
Taxes.
We have no plans to raise taxes on working people. We've said it a million times.
We're going to have to put up taxes.
Well, that's not true. This budget raises taxes by £40 billion.
The biggest tax increases seen since 1993.
There's no need to come back with another budget like this. We never need to do that again.
I'm really clear. I'm not coming back with more borrowing or more taxes.
It's now on us. I will maintain all income tax and equivalent national insurance thresholds at their current level. But we don't need to come back for more. We don't need to increase taxes. I am asking everyone to make a contribution. Labour will not be putting up taxes on working people. I know that maintaining these thresholds is a decision that will affect working people.
That's going to give me nightmares, Paul. That's going to give me nightmares.
I'll tell you what. You what, Sarah?
Don't they make you feel sick?
It's like a bad audition for the Addams Family. It's absolutely
Take a
repulsive.
wig off and put it on Starmer. They're the same people.
They have got. So funny you should say that. Starmer and Rachel Reeves talk very much alike. Actually, they both got something wrong with their.
Don't like that, don't they? Yes.
Trying to raise taxes.
That's it. But the thing is, right? You got to say these people are just out and out blatant liars. And I tell you something. I mean, Beth Rigby. I'm not a fan of hers, right? But let's watch this because Starmer got his knickers right in a twist with Beth Rigby. Watch this.
Election. You said it repeatedly when you were Prime Minister. You've broken their word. You've broken their trust. Will you apologise to them for misleading them?
Well, we kept to our manifesto in terms of what we promised, but I accept the challenge. I accept the challenge that we have asked everybody to contribute. I want to be really clear why we've done that. That is because...
Can I just say, does everyone notice how many times a Labour politician says, can I be really clear? They love that word. Can I be really clear?
We need to protect our NHS to make sure that it's there for people when they need it and their families when they need it. Secondly, to make sure we've got the money to put into our schools so every single child can go as far as their talent will take them. And the third thing is to bear down on the cost of living. The one thing that people care about more than anything is the cost of living. And yesterday we were able to announce that we're taking £150 off our energy bills. Now, for most people, the energy bill is the one they
He's losing his rate then. Look, I'll tell you,
worry about most. We've been able to take 100.
Go on.
If you play the video I've just dropped in the chat there, mate, you'll see what happens when, you know, Calamity Care really loses his rag. Just play that video, mate. It's going to scare people.
I will do it. At the end of this, I will play it.
Calm down, Richard. Calm down.
Yeah. £50 off that on average for every family.
You told people.
Oh, by the way, I've sussed out why Beth Rigby's getting the hump with Keir Starmer's, because she wants her mate,
yeah,
Angie.
She wants Ginger Angie in number 10. Her mate, Angie. Yeah. Let's go. Hold on.
In the run-up to the election, we will not raise your taxes. People are taxed too high. 800,000 people are being dragged into taxes from your measures yesterday. 1 million people are being dragged into higher tax bands. You have misled the public.
We have absolutely done the least possible we can. We've done it in a fair way. We have had headwinds this year, which were unpicked. The OBR looked at productivity. Again, they reviewed the 15 years of productivity, and then, based on the failure of the last government, then downgraded forecasts.
We've done it in a fair way. Those that work will feed all those that have about 40 kids and never done a day's work in their life. That's fair.
As we go forward, but we are clear that we are asking everybody. We are asking people to all make a contribution to this. We've kept it to the minimum, but we're really clear what that's for. It's for the NHS, which people care passionately about. Talk to anybody in this room. It's about what we need to spend on our schools, about children, and it's about keeping the cost of living down.
Do you not accept that you've misled the public? You clearly don't agree with anything I'm saying.
I think anybody would acknowledge that in the last 12 months there have been a number of headwinds which weren't expected. Nobody expected the OBR to re-review retrospectively.
Your was £6 billion quid and you raised taxes by 26
They
billion.
reviewed 15 years of productivity. Their evidence is that the damage done by the last government was worse than they had anticipated. They've now set out their predictions. I'm absolutely determined that we will beat those predictions. They said this time last.
Is this bloke, does he have any idea of what a dislikable individual he is? Does he have any idea at all?
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he does he?
No self-awareness whatsoever. No
self-awareness, no.
Last year, that economic growth for 2025 would be 1%, and this year it is 1.5%. So we've already beaten their forecast by 50%.
You said before the election you wouldn't have to tax people more, you wouldn't cut spending, and you would improve the country through growth, public services, and you've gone back on your word.
Well, JP Morgan this morning, you'll have seen the announcement, a £4 billion investment on the back of the budget.
You said during the election that you wouldn't be able to pay for a lift in the child benefit cap. You said it's a difficult thing. I want to put it in my manifesto. We can't. I'm being honest with the public. We can't afford it because I don't want to put people's taxes up. You've done exactly the opposite. You've lost the confidence of this.
Let me answer that, Beth. I absolutely do believe that we've got to lift children out of poverty. We've had a 2-child cap in place for the best part of 10 years. The net result of that is hundreds of thousands of children have been living in poverty. That has a massive impact on their health. Go to any hospital and ask.
Look, he don't give a goddamn shit about any kids anyway, and I'll come to that in just a moment, because there is a serious part of this conversation that I want to have, right? But before we do that, there's also.
Well, I tell you what would help with not getting kids in hospital. Banning cousin marriage. That might mean that we have a little bit of less of a health burden than we do at the minute.
But sorry, Sarah, there's one other thing we must remember. There's been issues with Russia again this week, and Keir Starmer has sent a very, very, very strong message to Vladimir Putin. This is serious.
Yes, this is good. And again, that's it. And again, try and breathe, relax. That's it.
Now, Richard, I've heard on the wire that Vladimir Putin has he's put all the Russian flag manufacturers into overdrive. Their task is to knock up 50 million white flags after seeing that.
I'm terrified. I was gonna try and get a white collar boxing match between you and Starmer, but I just think he'd take you now, Paul. I think he'd take you, mate.
I fear for you, Paul.
Oh dear. I'll tell you what, mate. Oh, honestly, sorry, Sarah. Go on. I'll cut in across you there. Go.
He's just an embarrassment of a man. I mean, you want someone who's strong and powerful to be a leader of a country. He is anything but strong and powerful. But you see, the what's insulting when they say about lifting the two-child bracket.
Yeah.
The problem is he's saying we've brought so many children, so many millions of children out of poverty. No, you haven't, because what you're doing is people on benefits aren't the ones that are in the poverty bracket. It's the ones that are on the low income wage that need their tax cap brought up to £20,000 so that then they've got a little bit of relief, because they're the ones who are struggling, not the ones that are down here on the benefits or the ones at the top. It's the ones in this bracket who are really struggling because they want to work, they want to do the best, they want to have that pride, but yet they're the ones that are being taxed at every single turn. They're the ones who really can't afford to buy everything that their kids need for school, for the amount of food that they need every week, because they're capped all the time. But the people on the benefits now are going to get even more benefits because they bang out another kid. It's ridiculous.
There's a couple of things on my mind here. First of all, the first thing is that I'm all for supporting British families, and there was an ex-post earlier on that I spied, and I wanted to read this out. Claire, she says, "I'm sick of people attacking those on benefits. I'll say one more time. I had a partner and a beautiful family, but sadly he died. I had 4 kids by myself. I didn't have a family to help step in. I ended up on benefits because I couldn't afford childcare. My kids were 3, 5, 6, and 15. You're only ever one tragedy away from ending up on benefits. Stop judging when you don't know people's stories." Now, I think Claire has a very good point there. I mean, that Claire is someone obviously that would deserve the help of her community, of the nation. You know, she's been bereaved, she's lost her husband, she's got 4 children, 3 of them in particular very young. But if we had a system that worked properly, they would recognise Claire right from the off and give her the goddamn support that she and her children need and deserve. When you get Mr. and Mrs. whatever their name is in from Afghanistan that have come here 6 weeks ago and have got 8 kids and she's pregnant, right? No.
Yeah.
But it's simple. It's simple. No money for migrants. If you come here and you manage to get yourself into the position, which is very easy to do, of actually having British whatever it is, citizenship or right to remain, well then if you don't work, you don't eat. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
No ifs or ands or buts. And that's just the way. And if you don't like that, you leave, right? There should be no free handouts for migrants. There should be no free handouts for women that are victims of polygamous marriages. There should be no free handouts for people that have literally just arrived off the boat and got themselves right to remain. And the whole asylum system, if you watch that Alison Pearson interview with Winston Marshall, if you haven't watched it, if you're watching this night, go and watch that interview with Alison Pearson and Winston Marshall, where she exposes from the voice of a whistleblower exactly what's been going on in the asylum system. And basically they're making it so that the people at the lowest rung of the ladder that are actually giving people British passports or giving them right to remain are more or less being forced to do it. They're incentivized to do it. They're making it so difficult for them to reject them. That's really important.
Yeah, let me read this. I've just Googled this, right? And AI, I don't know how accurate it is, but AI says this. The UK spent approximately £4.7 billion on asylum support in 2023-24. A figure that includes housing costs and cash allowances to asylum seekers, with the majority of funds going towards hotel accommodation. Now, these are That's 4.7 billion to asylum seekers. That's not to the legal migrants that are here with 4, 5, 6 kids, right, that never goddamn work, right, never have not got any intentions of any working. What will be the point when they're getting, listen, I had a message from someone yesterday that was telling me, I had a woman, I won't go into her background and where she comes from ever, but take a guess, right? $3,000 a month benefits. $3,000 a month. And she was trying to get a car on finance, and that is how much she's on. $3,000 a month benefits.
Well, I'm surprised she's not getting a DLA car. You know, I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? That they, you know, that this look, and I like you, Paul. If that woman, we don't know who that woman is. We don't know if she's genuine or not.
No. Oh.
Oh no.
I kicked him out again.
Bye,
Richard. He'll be back. Don't worry. Hold on.
Oh, he must have said something really important.
Richard, come back. Come back, Richie. Richie, all is forgiven. Here he is. Hold on a minute.
Oh no.
You know what, Richard? That's the second time I've done that to you this week. I've kicked you out.
You're wrong, and you're either extremely unprofessional or extremely cruel, and I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah, go on, carry on, mate.
Just kick me out again if you want. I don't care.
No, I won't kick you out. Go on. There you go. Look, I've even put you on a big screen now. Look, go on.
Oh, I'm touched.
Oh, that beard.
Do you know what? My wife wishes she had one of those. If she had one of those where I'm in the middle of a rant and she could just press a button and I disappear.
I thought you meant a beard for a minute. I thought my wife had a beard. Go on, Richard. What was you saying before I so rudely chucked you out?
Well, that's even ruder. Be very careful about insulting people's wives. No, I can't remember, mate. Listen, I'm over 55 now. I can't remember what I was saying. If I don't get it all, that's why I talk over people, because if I don't get it all out, I forget.
Oh, right, okay.
You were talking about
yes, I remember what it was now. Okay, so this lady that basically did the tweet, whether she, I mean, we don't know if she's genuine or not. I'm not having a go at her, but she might be a lefty that's trying to, make a point, right? If she's genuine, right, and she's been in that dreadful position, which you've got to give her the benefit of and say, okay, she's genuine. And then to me, they're the people, an indigenous, working class person who has been basically dealt a bad hand is, and when I say indigenous, I'm not talking about skin color, I'm talking about basically born in the country and contributing to the country as a family. She's been dealt that sort of hand. That's what the safety net's there for, Paul. It's for people like her. Now, because of these migrants, and not just migrants, because there's a lot of people that benefit fraudsters that are white British. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
A lot of people work the system.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anybody that's working the system, they need to be found out and sorted out. And people that genuinely need benefits. I have a mate of mine, right? He's 2 autistic kids. He had a great business and he's lost everything because of the stress of looking after these 2 profoundly autistic kids, right? And his life is extremely difficult. Now, without benefits, his life would be impossible, right? So he's got a mobility car, right? Good, because he needs a mobility car. He's got 2 kids that are sometimes, one of them up, smashing his head off a wall, literally putting his head through walls, right? Mm. And my mate deals with that, loves that kid, loves his wife, loves his other autistic son, and is dealing with a really hard spot. So he needs benefit. He needs benefits, right? So this is what worries me about, when people start talking about chopping benefits as well, because I'm not ideologically against benefits when people need them, because none of us ever know when we lose. Something can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can lose everything. Yeah.
No, Richard, what she said was you're only ever one disaster away.
She's right. She's right.
She's 100% right.
And if you've been in that situation, whatever it is, whether it's a relationship breakup or whether it's, a sickness, mental or physical, people have nervous breakdowns. You have a nervous breakdown, you can't work. So what are you supposed to do? Just starve. But obviously the problem is a lot of people fake all this to get benefits because they're flipping work shy.
Yeah.
I know people personally that have spent their entire lives on benefits. They get full tip There's nothing wrong with them. They play on they AI it. They check, they see like, right, how can I fill this form out? And then they're told, and I know these people, I've witnessed it firsthand. They've been claiming benefits since they were 16. They have more and more kids because they're like, well, I get more money. If they wasn't getting that money, they wouldn't have the kids, because like people who do work, who are struggling, I'm not talking about the elite, I'm talking about people who struggle, who get by, they go, I can't have no more kids. I've had 2 and we're struggling with 2. But these people go, well, I'll get another few grand a year. I'll get this, I'll get that. And I know these people, and they're in their 50s now. Their children are now on benefits because it's a way of life. Their mums say to them, I'll fill your form out for you. Look what he's getting now. Look, it's wrong. It's got to stop. So I believe that when you're on benefits, I believe there should be a system in place where they go, right, you're not getting your benefits for free. You're going to go and paint the railings at a park. You're going to go and pick litter up. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Then see how many of them people carry on claiming benefits. See how many low-level drug dealers still claim benefits, because they do, because they get their houses paid for them. So it will stop all of that if you bring in like things that have policies that people will go, you know what, actually I don't want to go and pick litter up in a park. I'll go and get a job doing something else, or I won't claim benefits because I'm a drug dealer, low-level drug dealer.
The bottom line is, I don't think there's any easy answer to the benefit system. What I would say is I believe that an advanced government, or advanced policies at least, would root out the bad people, and the people that genuinely deserve the benefits and genuinely need the benefits will probably benefit even more, because there'd be more money to give to them. Now, I'll give you an example. With the NHS, I've never, ever, ever begrudged a single penny that I've paid into the system that goes towards the NHS, right? Because, look, you have to have a system where people without money can get healthcare, the same healthcare that people, exactly. It should be a level playing system. But in the past 5 years, I've needed surgery twice and couldn't goddamn get it. I had to go and pay for it privately or live in pain. Now, that's not a system that I want to pay into, because if I can't get it, that means maybe Richard can't get it, maybe Sarah can't get it. Who's getting it? Because the people that are paying for it aren't necessarily getting it.
But I think, Paul, to be brutally honest, in your case, I think a hair transplant and turkey teeth, I can understand why the NHS weren't going to give you them, mate.
Mate, do you know what? There'll be people out there that actually believe that, you know what I mean? So I better put that straight. And by the way, my teeth are not turkey teeth, they're UK teeth. A bloody price I paid for them, mate.
That's why you keep booting me out, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, Fairweather Motorist. Appreciate that. Sydney, fair play to Mr. Inman. He caught Farage in the very early stages, and as far as I'm concerned, he got it spot on. Sydney, I'm going to go right off you.
I was bang on, Sydney. You know what? Like,
you're right. You're right. No, he was absolutely spot on, and I'll give that to him all day long. Jackie Lee, thank you, Jackie. Activity suggestion for Christmas Day: let's fill Reeves 20 billion cake hole full of sprouts. Hopefully she'll still be in the toilet. Oh dear. Let me be clear. Nigel Alfarage again. Connor Tomlinson said on Dan Wootton that Reform rejected interview invites from Peter Whittle, and I've said absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, that tells you all you need to know about Reform.
Not good enough for him. Not good enough for Nigel. Fairweather Motorcyclist again. Thank you. Labour definitely have a plan to stay in power. Yep.
Well, they're not going to give it up, are they? They're not going to give it
up.
Not
easily.
Not easily. Ian Nicholson, I've been on the phone to Ant MCP. Put your 3 names down for the jungle. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon would you be up for that, Sarah?
All day long. All day long. I want to go on that show.
Richard?
Well, I've been in the jungle. I'm not going back.
Would you bottle out?
No, I'm just not going back. I've been in the jungle. I'm not going back. I'm not doing it again. Don't like it.
Sharon, I could never take offence from you. Free, love you too much. I found it funny. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I know.
Love you
I
too.
know that. Mouse Charger, we will never see Alton Towers tune the same again. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Claire, Claire Brooks. Thank you, Claire. Paul, are you expecting mods on for the full 24 hours? Because the naughty elves might appear. And yes, Ian, I am talking about you as well. Well, I've been thinking about that, right? And I've been thinking that even the Scrooge trolls out there, surely to God, would have a night off on Christmas Eve. But
have you never seen The Grinch?
You know, I have. Yeah, you know what they're like. Yeah, you know
that
they're like. But no, listen, I've got. Go on.
No, I was just going to say that little green fella, you know, coming down your chimney and,
like that.
you know, could
Well,
wreck everything.
The one problem we have got, look, I'm going to get copyright left, right, and centre over that stream. But you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. You know, I'll get myself into trouble. But look, listen, it's Christmas, right? Sodom. You know what I mean? We're just going to play whatever we want to play within reason. And we're going to have a great time. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be really weird. It's going to be different because, you know, I'm going to be going, right, Richard, let me just have a look. Because I've started to prepare for it already. Yeah, look, here you go. Look, I've got one of the...
organised, isn't he?
He's so organised.
Look, watch this. Ready? At the bottom of the screen. Back soon, got for a break. Stay tuned. Right. So I'm going to...
He's going to clear up now, Sarah. He's going to leave us to it. Yeah, I was on a stream with Richie and Rogue on, I think was it Wednesday night? I went on their stream, and there was a delay, and man, it was really difficult because I'd finished talking, and then there was like about a pause for about 2 minutes before they realised I'd finished talking. It wasn't good. It was. I don't know why it was. I don't know what was going on. Why there was a delay, but it was just weird. Unless they were trolling me.
Very possibly. Yeah. Let's get this one. Join Advance UK today. www.advanceuk.org.uk. If you haven't already joined the party for people, please do so. Let's have a little look here. Lydia, thank you. Lib Dem councillor lied about ABH and since harassed and filmed my children causing alarm and distress, wasting tax funds. Let me just read that again. Lib Dem councillor lied about ABH and since had harassed and filmed my children. Wow, that's terrible. Let us know more about that if you can, Lydia.
Someone messaged me about that earlier. Here. Is this it? Yeah, was that in Seaford? Yeah, Seaford Lib Dem councillor.
Seaford, I know Seaford very well.
Yeah. And they even went to the press and painted him out that he had assaulted a councillor, but police dropped it. And you can see from the videos her smirk, please mention it. She wanted me to mention it tonight on the show. Yeah.
Can you just, if anyone can Google that whilst, because I'm running the show here, it's a bit difficult for me. But can you, let me just, if anyone can Google that.
Can we, because we don't, I'd just be careful, like, because you don't know what's going on there, Paul. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know the truth.
Yeah, we have to be a little bit careful, but we'll look into it.
There's somebody just put in the comments there, and this is important. In Ballymena today, not in Ballymena, it was the court in Ballymena actually. The case against the two Romanians was thrown out. Right. Well, we don't know what happened. I mean, again, we've got to be very, very careful because obviously, you know, these kids have been found supposedly innocent, but what I'm hearing is that there's something very, very sinister going on there. I'm not going to say any more, Max. Again, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I can get dragged into court for saying stuff. But the people of Ballymena and the family are absolutely fuming. And I'm hopefully going to I'm going to go up there next week, speak to some of the people in Ballymena, and I'll do a report on it, get it on my channel, on Tommy's channel.
Yeah, but I saw a bit of that earlier on. I meant to catch up on it. Carry on, mate.
Yeah, so that's Ballymena, and then there was a situation in Belfast where all the Pally Wally nutcase, we love Hamas and anti-Semites brigade. They were actually, the council were going to put up a Palestinian flag at Belfast City Hall, and it just happened to fall on the anniversary of the flags dispute where the Union Jack was taken down from Belfast City Hall because of these lefty, progressive, globalist, communist councillors. So there's going to be a big demo in Belfast tomorrow. We're all meeting at Sandy Row. I think it's Sandy Row Band Hall or Orange Hall. Just get to Sandy Row, you'll see where all the people are, and we're gonna march to Belfast City Hall with loads of Israeli flags, loads of Union Jacks, and a good old loyalist band. So because I think it's time that people really started sticking up. Now, I'm not organising this; I'm just turning up and filming it. But people are waking up. People are waking up all over the country, and every week there's stuff happening. But here's the thing, Paul: what they did to those farmers in London was absolutely despicable. I mean, arresting, because they had permission for that event, and the permissions was pulled by the Metropolitan Police. And I tell you now, if they ever try anything like that with us, there's going to be a big problem. Because what we'll do, if they ever do that with us, we'll just say, okay, we're not going to liaise with you guys. We're going to walk away, and we're just going to let people turn up and do what they want. We'll give them the date. They go and do what they want. So the Met need to be extremely careful in the way they treat legal, legitimate protests, because that's absolutely reprehensible, and that's driving a coach and horses through people's freedom of assembly. Well, and again, we know where it's coming from.
Well, we know where it's coming from, Sarah, right? We know where it's coming from. It's coming from a government that now wants to ban, or do away with, I should say, not ban, or is it the same thing? Do away with trial by jury, which means that any one of us three can be put in jail under the whim of a Labour minister who wants one of us, or takes a disliking to us personally or whatever. And away you go down the road. That is not.
Know the judges are all in cahoots with the government. So but going back to the story before, it's the woman has emailed you, Paul. She's sending you an email. I'll give it to you afterwards.
Right, okay.
And it was to do with the Lib Dem councillor tried to accuse a guy called Isaac of assaulting her, but he had it all on video footage. He must have been wearing a body cam. He's got evidence, so you can look into it.
I will try and find out. I will definitely look that. One thing I will say, I have over, at the last count, about 3,500 emails. I try and get through about a dozen a day, and that's about my lot. But I will do my best to check it out. Darren says, what about a big shout out for Danny Tomo and his crew? Stay well, guys. You're doing a splendid job, a brave job. I wish you all the best. Helen says it would have to be Tommy or Ben for the Christmas Day speech. It's not a bad shout, is it? Bob Hunter, thank you, Bob. Stoicism, have I pronounced that rightly?
Yeah, Stoicism.
Stoicism. I feel. I'll tell you what, Bob, you're trying to stitch me up here, aren't you? Oh, come on. Stoicism, a philosophy that focuses on living on a virtuous life, by focusing on what you can control, accepting what you cannot, and cultivating inner peace through reason and self-discipline. Love you, Paul. Thank you very much, Bob. I really appreciate that.
Nice seeing that on Christmas Day.
That was almost a tongue teaser.
Stoicism, Paul.
Stoicism,
yeah.
Thank you, Bob. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Laurie.
When I done my live, obviously Paul come on, and I was like, because so my mum was watching my live, and she went, it was so funny because she was like, people are looking at you going like this, reading, thinking, look, she's trying to do it. What they don't realise is I'm dyslexic. And I was thinking, what does that even say? I don't actually know. So I think I'm better off just letting the comments go up on mine. But Paul was going, look, that comment. I had no idea what was going on.
You should have told me that before, Sarah.
Yeah, because you'd have tortured her even more. Never show Paul any weakness, Sarah, ever. Just don't show him any chink of light. Not a chance.
Laurie says baby boom this time next year. I'll tell you what, it's funny you should say that because I've been with Danny a lot and he's not been in a great place. And Ian said to me, Paul, you're the worst person to be with Danny because all you do is take the piss.
That's the whole thing, isn't it?
I think that's the best thing. This is when you're in a bad time, someone's taking the piss. It brings you it's a bit of laughter here.
Try and bring a little bit of light-heartedness. Let's have a look. Tiggeroo, plank of the week. What they've done to Farage. I'll tell you what, that'd be something we could do as well. Wanker of the year on Christmas Day.
Can't do that on Christmas Day, mate.
What, wanker of the year?
Yeah, we can't have that on Christmas Day. We have it Grinch of, I don't know. Grinch. You do that New Year's Day. You got to do a New Year's Eve show, review of the year, Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose you could be right. Yeah. You could be right. Bob again, thanks, Bob. Starmer and Co won't go hungry. The piece of shite. Yeah, absolutely.
That's absolutely true.
Bob again. I've got a black and white cat. Am I a racist?
Absolutely not. Not if it's black and white. Of course not.
Good colours, black and white. Fulham. There you go. Let's have a little look in the regular chat. Anything you want to get off your chest tonight, gang? Richard?
Well, I was just thinking about my granddad had a black Labrador, and I'm not going to even say what he called it, but this was a long time ago, and he honestly called it a name that you would get arrested for now. And he's a policeman, but it just shows you how times have changed.
Yeah, of course. But things do. I mean, look, everything changes, right? And sometimes it's for the good, sometimes it's for the worst, right? But at the end of the day, I'll tell you what we do need to have a conversation on, Richard, very shortly. And I don't know if this is one that Sarah want to take part in, but we need to have a very grown-up conversation about ethno-nationalism.
Oh, absolutely. We do. We do indeed. We do indeed.
It's a very, very important.
It is very important. I mean, I spoke to Liam about the Steve Laws thing, and when it went out, like I was kind of like, what's going on? Why are people giving this guy a platform? And I'm still dubious about it. But the way Liam explained his rationale on it made a lot of sense. Because Liam said, look, he says, I got that guy on. He says, and I spoke to him, and he exposed himself for the bigoted so-and-so he was, when he said that he would support the Nazis in 1930s Germany, when he said that anyone that's got a mixed race grandchild, that the mixed race grandchild's getting deported. It's absolute nonsense. It's absolute stupidity, and it showed itself to be very stupid. Now, I think he was right. I think he was right in giving him a platform to give him enough rope to hang himself. Because the way Liam did it, Liam was very nice and kind to him. Right? He didn't go at him. He could have been a lot tougher with him, but he gave him enough rope to hang himself. And I think in the long scheme of things, anyone that's got even half an ounce of brain would look at that absolute scumbag. And I don't care. I have no time for ethno-Nazis. I'm exactly the same about ethno-Nazis as I am about Islamists and Antifa. They're all different cheeks of the same arse to me. They're all horrible people. And what this guy Laws said was clearly and absolutely beyond the pale and made him look absolutely stupid. So I think
I'd like to do a full episode on that one day, Richard, because I think it's a very important subject. I thought Liam did a great interview.
He did.
Myself,
he did.
Right?
He did.
Yeah.
100%.
One thing that's slightly disappointed me. What's the right word? One thing that concerned me was the support for the guy in the comments.
There's a reason for that, though, Paul. There's a reason for that. See them lot. They're that radicalized because they are like Islamists. I mean, they're right. And it's interesting. A lot of them go on 5 pillars. The Islamist channel. So they share a channel with the likes of Hijab and Ali Dawah and Dili Hussein and all these scummy Islamists, right? They all because they all swim in the same ocean. They all hate Jews. They all hate anyone that isn't like them. They're all supremacists, you know. So they are literally mirror images of each other, right? And what happens is when he does those, when your man Laws was on Liam's podcast, the reason the comments seem to be very favourable towards Laws, it's not because the vast majority of the British people believe that, because they don't, but the radicalised ones basically jumped on. Now, personally, I wouldn't. Yeah,
that's all it is.
There's some confusion there as well, though, right? There is some confusion, and I'll tell you where the confusion comes in, because I've got no problem with someone wanting to protect white British culture. I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem with I've got no problems with Africans wanting to protect their culture and their race going through it forward. And I've got no problem with the Japanese wanting to protect the Japanese culture and the Japanese race. But where I do have a problem with is when he starts saying things like, you're going to deport children. Well, they're born here because of the colour of their skin.
You know what will be really funny? When his children grow up, probably one of them will end up with someone of a different nationality. They're probably, because it's usually, you find that, like you find if you've got a parent that's incredibly far right, the child usually goes, oh, I'm going for the forbidden fruit. What's he going to do then?
Well, I mean, he was asked about that, and he said he'd deport them. He said he'd deport. He said if he had a mixed race grandchild, he'd deport the mixed race grandchild. That's what he said. Laws was videoed speaking to a woman with a mixed race child, and she said, "What would you do with him?" And she says, "Oh," he says to her face, "I'd deport him." Now, if I'd have been there and I'd have been the dad, I would have deported his jaw from his flipping face. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how Liam kept his cool, because I would have been over the table around that boy's throat.
You know what?
I'm just being honest
with Liam, I think I think the difference, say like if you had Steve Laws on here, this is different because this is a chat, whereas Liam's is a podcast to give platforms to a spectrum of people, because people want to, even though they don't agree with, say, Steve Laws, and I would say 98% of people wouldn't agree with him, but you will have people that go, they still want to watch it. It's like we've got stuff about serial killers. We watch interviews with serial killers because you go, oh my God, like they look so normal.
Yeah. But, well, that's what Liam said. When I spoke to Liam, that's what he said. He says, do you know what? He was like a normal bloke, apart from the mind virus that had taken over him.
I've met Steve Laws. Yeah. And talking to him, I thought he was normal because he weren't coming out with all that radical stuff. And so he was just talking about normal everyday stuff. And then it wasn't till afterwards I was like, oh, that's that guy that's like, because someone was like, did you know who that is? I was like, I don't know who it is.
Yeah. Here's the danger. Here's the danger for me, right? You see all these bloody lefties that are calling ordinary people like Sarah a Nazi and a fascist, right? This is, be careful what you wish for. If you start accusing people like Richard and Sarah and myself of being fascist and Nazis, what you do is you end up driving people towards that side of politics, and it's a very dangerous game to play.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that, and this is why Farage has been so disingenuous in and not just Farage. What they call that woman that, you know, she looks like she's got a carrot on the backside. The woman that does Camilla Tominey. She looks like she's been sucking a wasp. But she basically, you know, called Tommy a white supremacist. That is, I mean, do you know what? It's such a slander. It's such a disgusting slander, because ideologically, right, you could not put a cigarette paper between me and Tommy, right? And if I thought for a minute he was racist in any way, shape, or form, I wouldn't have anything to do with it, right? It's as plain and simple as that. And, you know, I agree with Tom. When Tommy says, you know, Paul Ince, Saul Campbell, Frank Bruno, they're born in England, they're English, and we're proud. You know, look at half of the England football team. You know, and I know people say, oh, well, some of these guys weren't even born here now in the England football team. All right, whatever. But if they're going to pull an England shirt on and they're going to play for England, or Frank Bruno's going to go and put his life in danger, fighting as a proud Brit, which he did. And my mates that I served in the military with, that were from the West Indies. Actually, one of my best mates was Somali. So I mean, I never thought about it at the time, but I'm sure he's a Muslim. Ali, I won't say his full name. I should want to drop him in it. But and that's the scary thing as well. I'm not using that guy's name because I know he went on to be a police officer in the British Transport Police, and I don't want, because I'm so associated with Tommy and we're all accused of being far right. I'm scared of mentioning people's names because I don't want to drop them in it. Isn't that ridiculous? Doesn't that show how terrible this has got? But that's the whole point, Paul. You know, and this is why I think the ethno-nats are dangerous. I think they're getting more traction. And I know Tommy opposes them. I know Liam opposes them. I oppose them. You oppose them. Sarah, I'm sure you do as well. And this is a hill to die on. And I think we've got to be careful when we say, oh, well, I'm happy enough with protecting white culture or black culture. I want a colourblind country, right? I don't care what skin colour you got. I care about what you believe, right? So if you believe in, you know, radical Islam, or you're an out and out communist or a globalist or a fascist, I won't have anything to do with you, whether you're white, pink, purple, pink with yellow spots. I don't care. If you're wrong, and you're wrong, right?
If your ideology to do with any extremists.
Yeah,
this is where this is where the conversation can get very, very deep and very complicated. And I think what we need to do
it's not complicated.
Well,
it's easy. Because Paul, we've always said it's not what the colour of your skin is; it's what's inside your heart that matters. So if you don't believe that, if you don't believe that, then I'm not. You know, and I know you do believe that, but if you didn't, I wouldn't do shows for you anymore. Really
no, absolutely. You know? But as I say, I think there's a very big conversation, and unfortunately, we're already an hour and 21 minutes into the stream tonight, and we haven't got another hour to run through because it's 11:30 here, and I'm knackered. Let's have a little look. Gladys, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Olga Barra, thank you. George plus Dragon, I bloody love you guys. Thank you for giving us hope. I'll tell you what, I think sometimes we probably give you a bloody headache, to be fair. Kenny Wilson.
But I do want to come back on this one more time, Paul, and I'll tell you why, right? Yeah. Because I know, see if I ever get used a lot on my channel, I'll tell you. But
you've never invited me on.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, we'll remedy that. But if you know, I believe there's people hiding in plain sight that are either sympathetic to ethno-nats or actual ethno-nats, and they're not playing a straight hand, right? And they're the most dangerous ones. And I'm not going to name them. I could name them, but I'm not going to go down that road. But listen to what they say. And some of them are coming across as very smart. A lot of them are very young, right? And just listen to what they say. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And you'll find them because they're hiding in plain sight. Oh, cool. And they're in all the parties. They're in Reform. I know they're in Reform. They're in Restore. They're in the Conservative Party. And I'd say because of Ben being half Pakistani, they're probably not in Advance. And I'd say there's people who have very high profiles, right? And very big channels who are ethno-nats. And that's why they're not supporting Advance UK. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Draw your own conclusions, guys.
Yeah, I think you're right there, but I will put that down more to racism. When I said there's a bigger question, Richard, and think about what I'm going to say right now.
Ethno-nationalism is racism.
Yeah, but look, let me ask you the question I'm going to ask you. And this is the debate that we can have another day, right? But it's too late tonight. But would you be happy or was you happy to see every Aborigine in Australia pretty much wiped off the map?
No, I wasn't happy to see that.
No. Would you be? Hold on. Let me finish.
Well, you haven't given me a chance to ask the first question.
No, because it's all one question. Would you be happy to see every black person in Africa wiped off the face of Africa? I suspect the answer to that would be no.
No.
Because that is their homeland, that is their country, that is where they belong, that is where they're born and bred. Same with the indigenous American Indians, right? They were pretty much wiped out, right? So what I'm saying is to believe that white British people have a place on this island, I don't think that's ethno-nationalism.
Well, that's the point, Paul, isn't it? Look, the truth is that immigration is far too high, right? Without a shadow of doubt.
Yeah.
We've got a massive problem with the Islamisation of the UK. That's the biggest problem. The biggest problem we face is not from people coming from the West Indies 50 years ago.
No,
now, these
exactly.
these scumbags, these extreme ethnonats would kick my mates that I served in the army with, and some of my veteran mates that were in the football lads. They would kick them out of the country.
They'd get rid of everyone. They don't believe that the Irish should be in England.
Exactly.
It would be anyone who's white that's not full English, pure blood, 10th generation.
Yeah.
Out. So
and that's what I'm saying. That is where, when you see a lot of support in the comments, I think that is where some of it is coming from, because they make a point. I've got to explain this correctly, but they make a point which in some cases is difficult to argue with. Like I've just said, the Aborigines, the Africans, the Japanese, the Chinese, or whatever, everyone has a home.
They word it.
Yeah, the way they word it, every race has a home that they're entitled to have, and that includes the white British. But that's how they dress it up. But I also agree with what you just said. I mean, I've got friends that are in mixed race marriages. They want to kick their kids out. Are you fucking joking me?
I've got a mixed race grandson, so, what are they going to, and listen, do they honestly think, and what their recipe is, theirs is a recipe for civil war and a horrendous conflict, right?
Absolutely.
Now, anybody that watches me knows I want to see mass deportations. I want to see people that have come to this country, that want to set up Sharia law in this country, that want to take over this country and turn it into something like a cross between Afghanistan and Somalia. I want them gone out of the country. I'm unashamed about that, whatever colour they are. Again, it's the ideology that they believe. That now, are we the victims of a replacement? I believe yes, we are. Now, does that mean that you throw out every single black, Indian, or Asian person? No, it doesn't. What it means is you have a sensible immigration policy. You get to a society where it was in the 1990s, where we're pretty much colorblind. There's a few in the 1990s. There was a few racist headbangers, right? And everybody just treated them like the dogs that they were. Didn't want anything to do with them, right? Didn't associate with them. They were on the margins of society, right? Now, what's happened with identity politics? Identity politics has deliberately put divides between black and Asian and white and different groups of Asians, between the Sikhs and the Muslims. Well, those divides were always there, but they multiculturalism and identity politics has reinforced these biases, right? It's made things a million times worse, and it's actually given a massive space for the ethnonats to move into, because they can come out with some very, very plausible arguments. But ethnonats are exactly the same as people like Kahindi Andrews and that dreadful Dr. Shoba Alaba, whatever her name is, that vile, disgusting woman, Bushara Sheikh, and who's the other one, that Narinder Kaur, all those race baiters, and people like Steve Laws are just mirror images of them, right? And what we need to do is find people of goodwill in every single community, get the people of goodwill together and sit down with them, say, like you said, Sarah, when we started this, right, in 2017 with the football lads and the veterans, and I wrote loads of mission statements for lots of different groups. And what we always said was, we're against all extremism, no matter where it comes from. And if you have that line, you can't really go too far wrong. But again, all of us were demonized by this absolutely pathetic, limp-wristed, lacking in testosterone, liberal ruling class. Have you seen Starmer couldn't punch his way out of a soggy paper bag? He couldn't punch his way out of a soggy tea bag. Pathetic, and these people have destroyed our country, right? So they're the people I want to go after. I don't want to go after Mike, my mate that was in the military, in the police, in the prison service, football lad as well, proper geezer. Do I want him thrown out of the country? No. Yeah. I'd rather have Keir Starmer on a boat and throw out of the country and all the communists.
Exactly.
So they can. The ethnonats, and the other thing is, a lot of these ethnonat groups, they're massively infiltrated by the state, because the state wants them to succeed. The reason that the state goes after us and goes after Tommy is because what Tommy says is actually sensible and right. What the ethno-nats say is just bullshit, to be honest with you. It's just complete nonsense. And that's the difference. And again, I've had people stick it on me. I've had people, you know, I've had more attacks from the ethno-nats than I've had from the left or the Muslims. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
And I've said some pretty horrendous things about the left and about, you know, the stuff I've said about Mohammed. I mean, you know, I'm surprised I'm not in an orange boiler suit, get my head hacked off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's it. Now you got that to come yet, Richard.
Oh, listen, they'd have some flipping chance of getting into my house, believe you me.
Right, guys, let me run through some of these because we are running an hour and a half, 1,685 people currently watching. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please give me a thumbs up, if only for putting up with Richard tonight. I deserve a thumbs up. Kenny, thank you, Kenny. Attended a small advanced UK event in Scotland last week with a high calibre of members after I mentioned that I was chomping at the bit to attend an event on your show a couple of weeks ago. Well done, Kenny. Brilliant work. Bob Hunter, thank you, Paul. There is already enough of us woken up. All we need is love, kindness, peace, non-compliance. Just say no. Jules says, watch Liam. He is right to show what far right really is. Kenny again, Steve Laws said he would like to interview Tommy. That may not be a bad idea because it would show the left what a genuine far-right racist looks like.
Tommy had ripped to bits.
Oh, Tommy's he's intelligent, Tommy, as well.
Extremely intelligent.
And you know him better than me. I obviously I met him at Poland, but met him on the 13th. But I met some of his friends there. Now, he had people there from multicultural backgrounds. If he was a racist, he wouldn't be friends with them people. Like, I've recently lost friends since I come back from Poland who have said, can't follow your path anymore. You surround yourself with racists. I was like, who's racist? I was like, oh, you just spread so many lies and misinformation. You're just like them. I was like,
but I bet those friends work from ethnic minorities. Those friends are probably all white, weren't they? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a horrible racist bunch, wasn't it, Sarah? Really horrible and
really
nasty.
Was.
Yeah.
It really was.
Champagne monologues. I'm not sure this country can be saved.
Yeah, it can.
It can.
Please, God.
You know what? You only have to take Poland as an example. Poland 30 years ago, all of the Poles wanted to come here because they wanted to escape what was going on there. You look at it now, everyone wants to go there. They suffered trauma and hard times. It took a while to get to where it is, but it is achievable if we all start implementing and making the changes now. And that's what we're doing, us three and everyone like us, you know, so it can happen. It just takes time.
I love this. James Bond says, thank you, James. Operation Wipeout, uniting at the polling stations at all elections, raising the flags with an X in the box on the ballot paper.
That's a good idea.
Rodeo et Patria. What a great idea, James.
That's a great idea, isn't it? So you put Advanced UK on a flag, X, boom, and you stand outside the polling station with a big massive flag. I love that idea.
Yeah.
And you get people to join you there and unite. Bob Hunter, thank you, Bob. Sir Ant Middleton will sort it out, plus Foxy.
Yeah, that's a good
104444. You and Richard mean the world to me. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Keep up these live streams. Really appreciate what you guys do for this movement and fellow patriots. That's what a lovely message, Richard.
Lovely, yeah.
No, he left you out, Sarah, but
yeah, I know. I'm keeping quiet there.
We're better looking.
I feel like a bit of a gooseberry now.
We're better looking. That's what
we're not that way inclined, Sarah. Don't worry about
that. Bob, last one of the night. Bob says, "Throw out communism, but keep the baby." Bob, you're a funny man, mate. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Let's have a look. Claire just says there. Oh, I've missed it. I've lost it.
Oh, listen, do you know what? You'll be getting loads of blowback against me there, Paul, for my stand against against the ethno-nats, they'll come after your channel.
Well, that's what I said, Richard. It's a big discussion, but people have to understand what is being said, and they have to listen and understand.
Doesn't matter, mate. I'm going to tell you now. See when you go down that rabbit hole. That I had it on my channel during COVID. I had it. There were people clipping stuff. I said something. I can't remember. I was doing an interview with someone. Said something about not having a problem with mixed race kids or something like that there. And they clipped it and made it sound like I said something. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, they come after you, Paul. And it's just they're just horrible people.
Well, there's more about this them council here. Yeah, I need to see this.
It'd be better for you to have a look at the footage, and then you can talk about it at another time. Isaac has got the footage. All charges have been dropped. So it's something that can be.
Well, let's get it up. Let's get it up on the next show and talk about it. You think of all those lovely Christians that we met at the Maltese, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, Paul, it's just completely, it's completely wrong-headed. And you'll find most of the people that are ethno-nats have no religion whatsoever. They'll maybe be Odinists or something. There's some numpty running around with a channel. His channel's growing, but he's an Odin. I don't even know what an Odinist is, but he worships some sort of weird Norse god or something. I mean, they're just bizarre people, mate.
Can I end tonight with my own personal heroes of 2025?
Well, is this where I need to step out of the room again, Paul? Just
why is this New Year's Eve then?
Is these boys here, the lads that have been out putting flags up right across the country.
Yeah,
they are my heroes 2025.
Yeah,
to see so many of our flags being raised everywhere, right up and down the country, has been one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life in the United Kingdom. I've often thought, why don't we show more of our flags? And these people have done it. So big up to them, and I can't praise them enough. Brilliant work, brilliant work.
And they're involved in all that stuff Danny's doing in France as well.
Absolutely. These are proper men doing a proper job. I just wish I was 30 years younger, or 20 years would be doing, would help. But there it is.
I've just received a message. Go back to Reform. They're taking a hit in the polls. If you wanted to go over to them, they'd give you a fair hearing.
Oh, yeah.
I just said I'd rather stick needles in my eyes.
I tell you, I think that Farage is on the ropes.
He is on the ropes. And you got to remember, I know a lot of people in Reform from being a candidate, and some of them are councillors, some of them are still candidates, some are just branch members. They are all messaging on a daily basis saying, please let us know when we can join Advance. We want to join Advance. When is this going to happen? It's constant.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say, and this is just, again, it's just feedback I'm getting on the ground. People are saying, okay, when's stuff going to happen in Advance? When's policy going to be out? What's going on? That's what I'm getting, Paul. And again, so we need to be aware of that.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, it's all right, Paul, but people need to be communicating with it in a big way. Yeah,
that's all it is. And I say to all of them, you got to remember this party is so new.
That's what I say as well. Yeah,
because it took Reform 4 years to get 30,000 members. Advance got that in 3 months.
Exactly.
So they're on over 40,000 now. And the thing is, it takes such a long time, and to get it into to set it up properly and be a proper party that can actually make change for this country. Finally, people have just got to bear with it. And I say that to everyone, and they're like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of them being updated all the time.
Paul, before you go, can I give an advert for my breakfast show? Right, one of my viewers. Look at this. What do you see? What about that? Isn't that brilliant?
Oh,
that's a little. Isn't that great? So that's going to be the new thumbnail for my breakfast show, right?
Oh.
The only problem is there's not enough bacon on it. I need another 3 rashers at least. It's streaky bacon, so I need more bacon. But it's a brilliant little graphic. So yeah, just give a shout out. Yeah, brilliant.
Love that.
Pauline Pace. Look at this, Richard.
I know.
Richard, give this to your mate. with the autistic kids. I volunteer. I mean, what an amazing gesture, Pauline. Amazing.
Yeah. Pauline, thanks very much for that, and I will indeed. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Amazing. Right, guys. So before we wrap up tonight, I'm not sure when we'll be back yet, but it will be soon. Don't forget, I'm looking for ideas for our marathon Christmas live stream. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. When are we going to be back, Richard? Over the weekend, maybe?
I'm going to do my little thing on Sunday night. Tomorrow, I've got the protest in Belfast. So if I'm not in jail, we could maybe do a cheeky quickie tomorrow night, Paul. Maybe it's a 9 till 10 if you're about.
We may be able to. I've got one or two bits. We'll see. We'll try.
Yeah,
I've got some new sound effects coming in for Christmas as well. I mean,
oh, I'm loving that, mate.
You're going to do it.
Sorry, play that one again. I was waffling on. Boom. Oh, is that you, Paul? You should have muted that, mate.
See, we're getting ready, mate. Look, Richard, you're dealing with a professional here, mate.
Yes, Sarah's very professional. And then there's you.
No, not when I'm reading things like this. I'm not.
That's it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right, guys, thank you so much.
Well, you're going to get a proper treat.
Am I going to get a proper? Well, not this, Richard. This is my office.
It doesn't matter, Paul. If you're going to have a treat, that's not a tree, mate.
Where is your live stream at Christmas going? Is it actually? Is Mrs. Thorpe going to be on there serving dinner up and all that? No.
Well, you might see her arm serve it up.
Right, okay.
I think Paul's going to get served up by Mrs. Thorpe for doing the Christmas Day. To be honest with you.
This is not going to go down well, is it?
It's not going to go down well at all.
A disaster.
And Sarah, you know, I know you're dyslexic and all, but like, see with your Christmas tree, it's meant to be the other way up. Yeah.
I've had that tree for 20 years. I've got a proper tree up the right way in my other room. That's fine. This one.
I might take the live stream up to bed on Christmas Eve and lately.
Oh, do us a favour, Paul. Listen, that's just, you know what I mean, mate?
Look, you said you wanted to see Santa empty his sack.
Paul, you're not Santa.
Get out of here. Yeah, but I could dress up as Santa, can't I?
I bet he dresses up as Santa for Mrs. Santa.
Oh,
Mrs. Claus.
This is getting out of order now. Right, guys, I'm going to end it all. Everyone, thank you so much.
Don't do that, Paul. It's not worth it, mate. Don't do that. Don't be doing that.
Right, get out of here. I'll see you all soon, guys.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Adios.